We're here talking about the U.S. Nationals, and I'm with three of the legends of this sport: Don the Snake Perdome, John Force, and of course the Professor Pro Stock, Warren Johnson. First off, I want to talk about you guys, the first time you went to Indy. Warren, I know 1971, you told me that was the first year you drove at Indy, but you were actually there even before that, running in another class.
Yeah, I ran a modified production car about 1969, somewhere around that, and then Pro Stock came along. I think 71 was the first year I went to Indy with I believe it was a Camaro at that point in time. That's where it all started. In '76, I started doing this full time.
Yeah, but what was your first time there? I mean, did you go there to watch, or did you race in another class?
No, I actually raced in '69. I ran a modified production car, and I think I went a few rounds or whatever it was. Heck, I can't remember yesterday sometimes, so I don't remember that particular incident.
But Snake, you were there first year, '65,
yeah,
and you won the race.
Yeah.
First time you showed up driving for Rolling On, right? Guy I also drove for.
Yeah, that's a great way to get introduced to the U.S. Nationals. And of course, back in '65, there wasn't that many national events. In the Winter Nationals, of course, they live out in California, and we raced Pomona and won that. We thought it'd be a great idea to take the Hawaiian car with Rolling On and go on a little bit of a tour, and so we ended up at the U.S. Nationals, and we won that. But back in those days, the format was completely different than it is today. You would set out on Sunday and then come back on Monday and win the winner of the Monday's race side by side, and that happened to be in Tommy Ivo on a Monday afternoon.
So you won on Saturday. You ran like a 32-car field on Sunday, won that, and you were able to sit out where everybody else had to run another 32-car show on Monday, and then the winner raced you, right?
Correct. Yeah. So on Monday, you just made the one lap, which wouldn't be bad today. Of course, we could do that, but yeah. So it's completely different, but it was covered by Wide World of Sports. I think that's one of the biggest deals that really put the drag racing on the map, because Wide World, there was no ESPN or no anything at the time, and Keith Jackson, those folks were there covering the show. So whoever won that race, it really launched your career.
Yeah, I remember 1969 was my first year there at the U.S. Nationals too, and I can remember, as a 12-year-old kid, my dad always talked about it. We were West Coast racers, and it was a thing where he saved all his money just to go to Indy, so it's like, what is this all about? He'd leave all his kids home, but in '69 he decided to take me there, and once I got there, I was just in awe of the place. I could understand what they were talking about, but I remember we went to a donut shop at 5 o'clock in the morning in '69, and there was Don the Snake Perdome there. As a 12-year-old kid, I'm like, the Snake over there, and my old man says, don't talk to him. Snake, don't talk to Snake. He might slap you. I said, well, how would that be any different than you, Dad? But,
Exactly. Your old man was a piece of work, too.
Yeah, he was.
He was hardcore. So,
yeah. But you ended up winning in that year, too, and I'll always remember that. You in the donut shop. When the sun wasn't even up yet.
Well, that's because we just got done working on the car.
Yeah, back in those days, right?
It's all we had to eat, and all we could afford was the donuts.
John, I got to ask you one thing. I mean, you're the winningest winningest racer in drag racing, but you've only won 4 times at Indy. How come?
Well, that's because Perdome beat me all the other times. See, my career's kind of mine's the don't start on me this early in the day. I haven't qualified, and I'm a moody son of a gun right now. My career's a lot like Perdome's, but a little bit different. I started out, I lost at Pomona, I lost at Bakersfield. In fact, I lost everywhere. And let's clarify it right now. I've heard the stories for years how Snake spanked me, like a schoolhouse boy.
Something like that.
But at the end of the day, yeah, I finally got to Indy, and I'll be honest, I was in awe of these guys. Warren Johnson, even though I'm their age, I started late. I was still driving a truck and reading National Dragster and dreaming the dream to be like my heroes. And the first time I ever got on stage with Warren, it was like the big highlight in Detroit of my life. And then he insulted me like, this guy is acting like a drunken Ira Hayes or something. and I was just wanting to be part of it. And then Snake, he tells the stories how all he ever did was spank me. And I thought, is this just a bunch of crap or what? Well, I'm doing this book out of a group with New York, and I started reading the stats. And the truth was, you did spank me every week. Snake.
And a few other racetracks.
Yeah. Well, Warren, you started racing professionally in 1976. Would you ever hire this guy for your truck driver?
Well, I don't know. I've seen him spank some walls, and I've seen Elvis and everything else over the years, so I don't know about a truck driver. I let him in a race car, but the truck, no.
I don't blame you, but hey, how about, Indy's always been legendary. You've got a number of wins there, but how about that Bob Glidden? How tough was he to beat back in the day?
Absolutely. Bob was probably the toughest racer as far as pro stock was concerned to beat there, because that was basically his home track. I mean, he probably knew that racetrack better than his shop floor. And to beat him in, I believe, I won 84 the first year I won, and that was against Bob, and we've had 6 wins there total, but Bob was absolutely tough there. I mean, he was a tenacious competitor any place he went. So to beat him on his home track, that was tough and special.
Oh, that's so neat when they look at their U.S. Nationals runs, tell the stories. Here is their career.
A lot of U.S. Nationals wins there. That's why these guys are legends.
And so